Hi there, this is Andrew from the Road Cyclist Guide again, and today in this video we're going to look at whether you can actually ride on gravel on your road bike. So do you need to have a specific type of gravel bike to ride on gravel, or can you ride your road bike on gravel is the question of this video. So, I mean, gravel riding has become really popular in the last few years, but it's something that I suppose cyclists have always done, but it's just particularly become fashionable or trendy in the last 2 or 3 years. And of course, cycle manufacturers have really picked up on this, and you can now buy specifically gravel bikes. You can buy gravel clothing, gravel shoes, etc., etc. And it's not, you don't necessarily need all of those things to actually enjoy gravel riding. But because you can actually, the answer is yes to the question. You can ride a road bike on gravel. Whether you want to ride your road bike on gravel is another question, and you may need to make some modifications to make it work really well. But in essence, yes, you can. You're not going to damage a road bike. Well, you're not going to damage the main components of a road bike by riding it on gravel. The frame's not going to break. The fork's probably going to be strong enough. You're most likely is that you're going to get damage through stone chips and dirt, obviously, in your transmission. The wheels are going to take a bit of a hammering, so you might want to think about making some modifications there. So the road bikes are tough enough to go on gravel, but you, with a few sort of caveats, you might want to make some alterations. So some things to do then. First of all, fitting fatter tyres. You can of course ride on gravel on road bike tyres, but skinny road bike tyres are 23-25 millimeters. If you've ever had a puncture, you'll know how relatively thin the rubber is on them, and actually in reality sharp bits of stone, gravel, flint are going to get into road bike tyres much more easily than they do into fatter gravel tyres. So you're going to be more at risk of getting punctures on a road bike using thin, narrow road bike tyres. They're also going to have like minimal grip, I think, to a certain extent on gravel. They've got minimal tread on them, and they are going to struggle in loose conditions. They're great on tarmac, obviously, with little rolling resistance, but you really need to fit a fatter tyre. Now, you can do this on a road bike. Your only limitation really being where the forks go down at the side. Can you actually fit the tyre into the frame of the forks and over the brakes? You'll need to do some adjusting as well. A specific specific gravel bike will have a wider fork between the wheels, so that it would actually take maybe a 30 or even 35 millimeter tire without any problems. But you should be able to maybe get a 28-30 millimeter fatter tire onto a standard road bike without any too many problems. It depends on the bike. Next thing to do is to think about the wheels. Chances are that actually your wheels are going to take a bit of a hammering. If you've got really nice lightweight, expensive wheels, you might want to consider changing those out for riding on gravel if you're going to do it quite a lot. A cheap pair of road bike tyres, road bike wheels with fatter tyres on would be a really quick swap. And while you're at it, ideally speaking, you might want to change your cassette on the back as well. Most road bikes are going to be on average too high geared really for riding on gravel. You can do with low gears for getting up hills and things. You're going to be going, generally speaking, more slowly. So actually having a specific gravel cassette on the back, a cassette with some larger cogs on it, so that actually you've got some lower gears, would work well. So in an ideal world, you can use your road bike, but possibly it's a good idea to have a specific set of wheels, tyres, and the back wheel with a bigger set of sprockets on the cassette on it, specifically for gravel riding. So you can swap out the wheels, have your road cycling set and your gravel cycling set if you start really going into the gravel realm. Saddle wise, you might want to go for something that gives a little bit more support. When you're riding on the road, you're probably going to be forward quite a lot and down. You may want to be a little bit more upright when you're riding on gravel, and so actually in the longer term a saddle that offers a bit more support might be really good. You perhaps want something that's going to shock absorb a little bit as well. If you've got a steel seat post at the moment, or even an aluminium one, changing it for a carbon one is actually a really good move. It's not massively expensive, but the carbon does soak up a bit more of the vibration, and does make a noticeable difference. You might also want to consider getting mountain bike pedals and shoes. Road bike ones are fine, but the bottom of road bike shoes are very easily scuffed and not. You can't walk in road bike shoes is the other issue as well. You can walk in mountain bike shoes, so actually inside the shoe rather than proud of the shoe sole, So actually for gravel riding and the flexibility that you need a bit more for gravel riding, actually mountain bike shoes might be really helpful, and you'll need to change to mountain bike pedals to fix those on. So yes, you can ride a road bike on gravel. Some sensible modifications there to be made, but I haven't tried it. So this is why I made the video and did the blog post that accompanies it. Go and have a look on the link down below, which leads you to the Road Cyclist Guide website, where you can read about what I've just been talking about in a lot more detail. I'm starting to think about riding on gravel because I love riding on road, but some off-road riding really does appeal, and I've been wondering whether I should change bikes. I need a new bike, or to sort of do some stuff to my road bike, and hopefully this will have given you some tips and inspiration as well. Thanks ever so much. Till the next video. Bye.